According to Blue Zones, your community and your surroundings directly impacts your health. So if that's true, Baptist Health Jacksonville wants to make sure that everyone in Jacksonville, no matter what part of the city you live in, has the opportunity to be healthy.
What do our streets look like? What do our parks look like? What is our access for healthy places to be outdoors and get physical activity?
These are some of the questions Blue Zones experts will be investigating over the next few months. Baptist Health Jacksonville's Vice President of Community Investment and Impact, Melanie Pat, says health is about what happens outside of a doctor's office.
If we can craft those environments where we live, where we work, where we play, and where we learn to make healthy choices prominent, then we're more likely to be healthy.
Blue Zones prides themselves on positive change, reporting that communities they've worked on have seen double-digit drops in obesity, smoking, and BMI, as well as millions of dollars of savings in healthcare costs. Pat says Blue Zones will complete their assessment by May with recommendations for improvements in Jacksonville. You may be wondering, what more do we need here in Jacksonville? It's well known that the city has the largest urban park system in the country with more than 80,000 acres. But according to Blue Zones and their research, there are actually 9 different facets into what provides a long and healthy life. And I'll break those all down for you next on Good Morning Jacksonville. In Riverside, Leah Shields, First Coast News on your side.